Jeff Coughlin, editor Scale Modelling Now. Welcome to this bookshelf browse for this title, the Grumman F6F Hellcat, Complete Guide to the Famous American Naval Fighter by Richard Franks. This is published by Valiant Wings Publishing. It's in the Airframe and Miniature series, number 15, no less in the series. It's high quality paper, it's art paper, it's softback, it's A4, it's about 224 pages, and it gets an absolute 5-star rating. No brainer for me. We don't give many, I certainly don't give many 5-star ratings, but this is an exceptional publication. If you've been following the series, and more importantly buying the series, if you're a scale modeler, you just absolutely should be looking at this series. You've got everything you need. It's a classic one-stop shop for me, for the vast majority of modelers, unless you really are, obsessive or you're looking for something that's really a bit extremely kind of offbeat. As you can see, the books start with some great reference pictures covering all the differences between the different marks, different air arms that flew the type, and in this case, of course, we're talking about the F6F, F3 and F5 Hellcat, primarily British Fleet Air Arms Service, US Air Force Service and US Navy Service, Marine Service, of course, and some others as well. So very authoritative early section. I love the fact that there's some colour photographs in there too. Of course, we've got the excellent profiles, I think, from Richard Caroline. I think he's done these. You've got real clarity about the different markings, different squadrons, ships, units that the aircraft are assigned to, particularly the US Navy. And then, of course, you've got the Fleet Air Arms Service as well. Some of those operating, of course, on board carriers. I love the fact you've got those other foreign services, and here we've got Uruguay, I think, would you believe, flew the type. You've got France, of course, I think, who flew the type as well. And then once you get through all of that, you get into the different kits, which is really useful, very useful rundown. And then I think you'll remember, you could hardly fail to remember if you're a scale modeler, that a couple of years back, Airfix released their absolutely astonishing 24 scale Hellcat. Certainly came as a bit of a shock, to say the least, to a lot of the modelling fraternity, but gosh, what a kit that is, an absolute stunner. We've featured it big time in Scale Modelling Now, and I would urge you to go and have a really good look at Chris's build of that. We've covered it in other scales too, and we will cover more as time goes on. So in the title here, you've got a good rundown and assessment of the different kits, and then of course you get into the builds. And what I love about this, which is really good to see, we've got, I think, a couple of 72nd scale builds, a 48th, 32nd, and the 24th scale Airfix kit. By the usual suspects in the Valiant Wings teams. You've got Leroy Jekyll, Steve Evans, you've got Tig Wilkes. I think between the three of them, they have done all the builds in here. Really nice to see, really lovely build quality, nice photography, great presentation. All the time as you move through the builds, you get onto the specific differences between the individual marks of the Hellcat. Then you've got a lovely walk around section. It's just really great coverage there. And then right at the back, a summary of all the kits and accessories, decals and everything else that's available at the current time of printing. Well, I mean, extraordinary. Oh, just spotted there actually. Well, that's the 48 scale Hellcat by Hasegawa, fabulous artwork by Koike Shigeo. I always remember seeing that and buying it instantly when I was in Hannons many years ago, and building that for one of the magazines. So really good stuff. And of course, right at the end, you've got scale plans. I mean, goodness me, what's not to like about the 48 scale plans about this particular package? Beautiful, brilliant, love it. I'm becoming a huge fan of these publications because they're so good. They are a complete one-stop shop as far as I'm concerned. 5-star rating, excellent. Well done, Richard. Well done, Mark and the team. You've done a really good job with this one. This is Airframe and Miniature number 15. the Grumman F6F Hellcat.